Keir Starmer is again being slammed for his war on free speech. Outspoken commentator Douglas Murray unleashed on the Prime Minister after his robotic performance with Donald Trump, where he assured the press that there was still free speech in the UK.
Keir Starmer's government has decided that a priority in almost any real-life situation is not to deal with the real-life problems that occur, but instead to crack down on online content and much more. This has got to such a pass that now the Starmer government and Starmer himself pretend that all these online harm stuff merely has to do with issues of child pornography and so on, and that anyone who's pushing back against the online harms bill must be therefore on the side of child pornography. No, that sort of filth is already illegal. You already go to prison for that stuff. It is such a weak and pathetic attempt to defend something that is essentially indefensible, which is citizens who have said nothing illegal being visited at their homes by the police for tweets and Instagram posts and Facebook posts and so on. It's a lamentable affair. And as I've said to you before, Rita, as we've discussed on this show, the very striking thing is that all the time, the government in the UK, as in so many other countries, Australia in particular, decide that if you've got a real life problem, instead of solving it, you should go to the secondary thing of how people are reacting to it online. It's so not fit for purpose.
He then went on to reveal Starmer has forced social media companies to censor their users in the UK through his measures.
The UK, again, taking a similar approach to what we're going to be doing here in Australia, which is to target platforms like X, formerly Twitter, with massive fines if they don't censor users. So these platforms are either going to face financial ruin or they're going to have to censor people who are supposed to be living in a free country.
Absolutely. And, we've already seen where this leads. Do you remember after three jihadists went across London Bridge in 2017, slashing at women's throats and shouting Allahu Akbar, the then British Prime Minister, Theresa May, gathered with all the great and the good, the Mayor of London and everyone else important, and talked about how we have to crack down on online content. It had nothing to do with online content. Look at the knife killer, Axel Rubicana, who killed those three poor young girls in Southport last summer. Some of the media said things like he was the Amazon killer because he'd ordered the knife from Amazon. I mean, this is what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep blaming social media companies and online things because they can't deal with the real world. They can't deal with the real world problems, and they should.
Much of the censorship has come off the back of opposition to immigration policies in the UK, which Starmer has tried to censor.
We've got people right now locked up for some of them lengthy terms, around 3 years, for things they've posted in opposition to immigration.
It's outrageous. Months, even up to 3 years, as you say. One is a 55-year-old mother who was locked up. So these are not violent offenders. And this whole concept of hate speech or bigoted speech leading to these task forces for immigration. They also did it for COVID in 2020, 2021. They had a secret sort of investigative unit that was looking to combat disinformation around various COVID measures that potentially could lead to prosecutions or arrests, and I think did in some cases. So Keir Starmer is right in that there is a long history of free speech in the UK, going all the way back to the Magna Carta in 1215. That's where it all germinated out of. That's what makes it even more shameful and sad that they're doing this.
Exactly.
It has to be defended. And this issue is only going to brew. It's headed towards a collision course because in addition to arresting their own citizens like they have, they're doing things like putting these huge fines against American big tech companies who are not without sin, those big tech players. However, they're appealing all of them, and these other governments coming in and trying to find 6, 8, 10% of global revenues is going to come into Trump trade deals and other negotiations as well. So this fight is just getting started.
It's crazy. I've been seeing screen grabs that people have posted from the UK where just posts about immigration are completely blanked out. You can see them elsewhere in the world, but you can't see them in the UK.
Sky News commentator Esther Kraku agreed, saying people are being bullied into silence over this issue.
It's just extraordinary to me, Esther. I mean, if Britons had been told, look, the price of accepting more and more illegal immigrants, what is it now, 25,000 this year alone so far, is that Britons lose their free speech. What do you think Britons would say to that potential deal if they'd been asked?
It would feel like a dystopian novel. I mean, Keir Starmer's whole election pledge from last summer when he won election was he's going to smash the gangs. So far, the gangs seem to be doing better than ever. I don't know if he was being cheeky when he meant smash the gangs. He meant something a bit more inappropriate because so far as I'm concerned, the gangs seem to be his best friend because they're the only people that seem to be benefiting. I mean, the average revenue for many of these people smuggling gangs is estimated to be over £1 million a month. So they don't seem to be doing too badly for themselves. And the crisis seems to be worsening. And people are being basically bullied to be silent because we're now seeing police, instead of solving crimes like burglaries, are turning up at people's houses to ask them why they tweeted things. I mean, in the most extreme case of Lucy Connolly, she's serving 31 months for a tweet she deleted about half an hour later. So it really is a dystopian nightmare come to life.
Look, the whole thing is really weird, Esther, and it seems to me that it would have been easier had the government simply stopped the illegal immigrants coming into Britain in the first place. I mean, how hard is it? You've got a giant moat. I thought that could be of some use to the country, but there you go.
And Starmer's war on free speech comes as he plans to recognise Palestine's statehood, in line with his European ally, France's Emmanuel Macron.
And you know what I found extraordinary, Darren, when Keir Starmer made his announcement that he would, he threatened to recognise a Palestinian state later this year. He said, well, it's about working towards a two-state solution. Well, Hamas doesn't want a two-state solution. And this is what I think the world leaders don't understand where they're making these pledges, Darren, is that Hamas doesn't want peace.
Absolutely right. Standing up at the United Nations, making yourself look nice around the dining tables of all these globalist leaders, whilst waffling on, as you say, about a two-state solution. It's just him grovelling to Hamas and, frankly, I'll be honest here, to pro-Hamas sympathising MPs within his own party, while actually betraying one of our closest allies. It's both illegal, it's both immoral, and if this is Starmer's foreign policy, summing itself up, really, then we need to actually bin this government. We need to stand with democracies, not terrorists. And actually, I think the fact that we're having to say that, Danica, tells you everything we need to know about the state of the United Kingdom today.